Shalawam, 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 Israel. How's everybody doing tonight? It's your Captain Khalil back again with another Watchman Wednesday. Got a topic to bring to you guys today about keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, because that's the only way we're going to get up out of here. And watching for the end time signs, because the judgment is inevitable. Alright? It shall come to pass, thus saith the Most High. Alright, so what I want to start with today, I want to get to let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15. Right? So 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15, and it says study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Right? So we gotta study to show ourselves approved to the Most High. We gotta make sure we make it to His approval. Right? We got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments even to be considered just in the eyes of the Most High. So when we study and we get this knowledge and this understanding from His words, then we can show ourselves approved. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed. So when you're doing the work and you're doing the service of the Most High, and you're really trying to get to the knowledge and understanding, you can't be ashamed about it. Right? You can't care about what people think about you. You can't care about what they say behind you, say about you behind closed doors or whatnot, right? Because we're not looking to get the approval of men. We're looking to get the approval of the Most High. Rightly dividing the word of truth, right? So when we come with this understanding, we don't come from it from a church mentality, a Christianity mindset, right? We don't speak on it like how the pastors speak on it. What they give you is prosperity gospel, right? They tell you everything's gonna be okay. Everything is gonna in 2-3 years you're gonna get that dream job or that dream car that you've. No, you don't know when the Most High is gonna come back, right? They don't know it. The Most High ain't say none of that. He said to keep my law, statutes, and commandments, or die. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is to it. So we got to study to show ourselves approved unto God, so we can be considered, right? A workman that needed not to be ashamed. You're doing the service of the Most High. Don't be ashamed about it. Who cares what they think? Rightly dividing the word of truth. So how do we rightly divide the word of truth, right? How do we understand the scriptures? What we have to do is we have to harmonize the scriptures together, right? Hermeneutics. One scripture is going to enforce the other. Don't you need 2 or 3 witnesses to make the statement true, right? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to Isaiah chapter 28 verse 10. Spell it. It's not going to let me. If you spell it wrong, it's not going to let you. Right. Let's start at verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breasts, right? So you're going to get this knowledge and this understanding once you get rid of all of that Christianity mindset, whatever the church taught you what the truth was. You have to throw all of that away, right? You have to come into the doctrine of what the Bible teaches, not what man teaches, right? Then you're going to get the knowledge. You have to come as a baby again. You have to humble yourself down, get rid of everything you ever known, come back to the Bible as a baby, right? As barely learning anything. That's what you have to do. Then you have to wean off the milk. You have to grow in this truth and drawn from the breast. You have to only babies nurture themselves from the milk of the breast, right? So you have to grow in this truth with the knowledge and understanding to where you're getting to the meat now. You're no longer needing the milk. You're off the breast now, right? So now you on the meat. That's how you get the knowledge. You got to grow in this truth. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line. Here a little and there a little. So this is the key on how to unlock the hermeneutics of the Bible, how to actually read it correctly, right? Everything goes together. Precept upon precept means that this scripture is gonna basically say the same thing or harmonize itself with another scripture, right? Line upon line means you got to keep it in the same context, right? Everything has the same context no matter what scripture you're dealing with. It talking about the same thing. Here a little and there a little. So when you do precept upon precept, you can do precept upon precept like from the same book, right? I can get a precept from Psalms and link it up with another scripture from Psalms, right? And they both harmonize themselves together. When it says here a little and there a little, that means you're going from one book to another book, getting the precepts in the line upon lines, which is the context, right? So you have to do all of that as a grand whole to understand what the Bible is actually talking about and how to really understand the beast system and the end time signs. This is what we have to do. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and let's go to Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 57, right? Psalms 57 and 3. It says, he shall send from heaven and save me from the reproach of him that would swallow me up. Salah. God shall send forth his mercy and his truth, right? So the Most High is going to send his mercy and his truth. What is his truth? We're going to go get a precept on that, right? Let's go to Psalms 119 so we can find out what the truth is. Psalms 119 and verse 142. Psalms 119 verse 142. It says, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. See that? So it says, when it says in Psalms 57, send upon me, he's going to send mercy and his truth is the law. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the truth. Right? So let's go to Psalms 57 again. And 3. He shall send from heaven and save me from the reproach of him that would swallow me up. Salah. God shall send forth his mercy and his truth. So the Most High is going to send his mercy upon us and his laws upon us, so that way we may live, right? Because that's the way to life, is keeping the law. And I'm going to let you know right now. Let's go to Romans. Let's get to Romans. Romans 7. Oops. Slakia. Romans 7 and 14. Romans 7 and 14. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin, right? The law is of spiritual essence. Once you keep the law, you start gaining your spiritual essence back, right? Because we know that everything that has to do with the flesh is of wickedness. Everything you want to do good is in your spirit, but the things that you end up doing that are bad is because you feed into the wants and needs of what your flesh wants, right? You feed into that, and you give it in, you give in. But keeping the law is actual feeding into the spiritual side of your essence, right? We got to attain more into the spiritual side, because the spirit is the one that's gonna dwell with the Most High God, right? That's what's gonna happen. So everything that's carnal, we can't be carnal men. We have to be spiritual men, because the law is spiritual. If you're not keeping the law, then you're not spiritual. You're just walking in the ways of the world, how you want to walk in the ways of the world, right? And that's not what the Most High has planned for us. He wants us to keep the law. Psalms 57, I'm gonna give you mercy in the law, right? But I am carnal, sold under sin. Watch this. For that which I do, I allow not, right? The things you do, you don't really want to do those things. For what I would, that do I not. But the things you feel like you should be doing, you don't do those things, like keeping the law, right? But what I hate, that do I. See, we all hate wickedness. We hate negativity and bad stuff, right? But we still out here being wicked and delving in sin, right? If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that is good. So everyone's not keeping the law. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, I'm not going to keep the laws of God. They put that in their minds. But if you do keep the laws of God, right? For that which I do, I allow not. If you do what you don't allow in your life, because people aren't allowing the law and the Most High to come into their life, right? So if you do what you don't allow, for that I would, that do I not. But if then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that is good. You see that? Because nobody would keep the law. So you got to keep the law, because that's what's good. Everything else contrary to that is bad, right? Now then, it is no more that that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. So we're going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments because that's what's good coming out of the Most High, right? And we got to get the understanding by coming to the scriptures, showing ourselves approved. The law is found in the book, so if you study to show yourself approved, you're gonna study the laws, and that's what's gonna help you, right? All right. Let's go to Romans. It's still staying in Romans, but let's go to chapter 6. Go to chapter 6 real quick. Verse 12. It says, "Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof." So don't listen to your flesh. You can't. You gotta. That's what fasting is part of, right? Everything your flesh wants to do, you have to fast from that. That's what's fasting. Fasting don't have to just do it, but not eating, right? Fasting means refraining from the things that your flesh wants to do, refraining from that, right? And actually having that mental discipline to get rid of those things and start delving on a spiritual side, right? So let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body. Don't let the ways of this world take control of you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the ways of wickedness and the ways of your flesh take hold of you, right? That you should obey it in the lust thereof. Don't obey it. Don't listen to your flesh, basically. Don't listen to the flesh. You gotta listen to the spirit, right? So let's go, because everything is already manifest. The Most High he predestined everything, right? From the Most High's point of view, he already sees who's made it and who hasn't made it. From our earthly perspectives, we can't see that, so we have to try our best, to the best of our abilities, to keep the law, statutes, commandments, just to even be considered righteous in the eyes of the Most High, right? It's either you just love the way of the world, you just want to do what the world does, and you just go to the lake of fire, or you can try your best to keep the law, statutes, and commandments just to even be thought of in the eyes of the Most High, right? So it's two different paths you can go. So let's get to let's go to Romans. Stay in Romans. We're still in Romans. Let's go to 8 now. In verse 28. Let's start at 27. It says, "And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is in the mind, what is the mind of the Spirit." See, the Most High, he searches our hearts, he searches our spirits on how it's either we trying to be righteous, or we trying to be wicked, we wicked. Because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God, right? He made an intercession in between for the saints, right? If the Most High God's the judge, who's the lawyer talking on our behalf? That would be Yahweh Shai, right? So Yahweh Shai is our lawyer, and we have to show ourselves approved unto Yahweh Shai. Then he brings our portion like, look, my saints, do you consider them? He has to bring us forth to see the Most High in those days, right? To be judged according to our works. But if you're not even gonna make that far, you're just gonna die in the lake of fire. You just want to be in the world, you just want to be in the lake of fire, right? So even going to see the Most High in judgment is a scary thing. Even if you do make it through the lake of fire, right? You still have to go see the Most High after that, and you still don't know if he's gonna even consider you, even if you do make it through that. Huh? So let's get back to it. "He that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God," right? Everything's gonna work together for you for the good if you keep the commandments of God. Because remember, the Most High said, "If you love me, keep my commandments." So you gotta love the Most High. "To them who are called according to his purpose, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren." So when you're born into this world, the Most High already foreknew who you're going to be when you grow up. He knows who's from birth going to grow up and be conformed into the image of Yahweh Shai, his Son, who's going to be righteous, who's walking in the commandments and being a righteous man on the earth. He knows who's going to grow up and do that from his perspective. But from our earthly perspectives, remember, we don't know. So we got to try to live up to that expectation, right? Be conformed in the image of his son, or be conformed in the image of the beast, which is men, right? Being conformed in the image of men and doing what they want to do in this world. It's your decision. You might think that, but the Most High already knows what the predestination is. We might think we're making conscious choices, but the Most High already knows the end game. Verse 30. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he glorified. So this is speaking in past tense form. Them he also called. So the ones God called, right, he justified them. And the ones he justified, he glorified them. So this has already happened. The ones he already predestinated to be justified and glorified. You guys get what I'm saying? Con. So don't listen to your flesh. Keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, because everything's predestinated. We gotta hope that we're even considered righteous in the eyes of the Most High God. We're gonna try our best to be righteous in the earth. So let's see. Let's try Zechariah. I think this is a preset. Slakia. Oh, Slakia. Put an E. No, not Zacharias. Slakia, Israel. My spelling off right now. We gotta go to 14. All right. Zechariah 14 and 12. Yeah, 14:12. Slack it. It says, so keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man, so we can be considered, because the day of judgment is already coming, right? You have people out there, atheists and people who believe in their own way of life or whatnot. Even them, they can even see that the world is not all like how it used to be, right? Like I said before, America's not the biggest bad guy in the world no more, right? These other nations hate America. They want to see it fall. Everyone wants to see it fall for all the wickedness and things they've done. So to the men that don't pay attention to the words of God and just delve on their own understanding, even to them, they can still see, like, man, this world is coming down. The economy sucks, right? They got COVID and taking control of the people's freedoms and stuff like that, right? Like, it's this town was built on blood. This place is built on blood. There's nothing to go back to, right? There's no good to go back to for this nation. That's why the Most High is gonna destroy it with fire, right? Talking about make America great again and all these things, man. America was never great, right? America was never great for us, because during that time when it was great for them, we was getting our backs beat in. So nah, man, America's never gonna go back to nothing, man. It's gonna be destroyed by fire, thus saith the Most High. Right? So let's get to it. Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. So what does that sound like? What does that sound like to y'all? It sounds like fire, right? Thermonuclear fire. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. What is that? And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Right? How is that going to happen? I'm going to show you how it's going to happen. Let's get to it. Bam. All right? Let's play that. I know y'all remember this. So they be putting a lot of truth in movies, you know what I'm saying? And y'all just got to know how to decipher what's true and what's not. They always do that. So I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. If you can, give me a comment, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. We try daily. We try our hardest to give you guys the truth out there. A lot of our people out here are lost, and We just we love the nation so much. We don't want to see destruction to our people, man. That's very real. So yeah, come. We gotta have the fear of the Most High God. Stop playing around. Come, Wakan, Barakatah, the Hebrew soul food. Shalawam, shalawam. So yeah, check this out. Check this out. Oh, matter of fact, I got a preset for that one real quick. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Ooh. So right here, Matthew chapter 24, verse 37. Let's start at verse 34. Matthew chapter 24, verse 34. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass. Right? This generation that we're in, at the time of Yahushua, he's saying this generation is not going to pass. Like, y'all still going to be here. Even after I'm gone, y'all still going to be here. Right? Till all these things be fulfilled. Everything has not been fulfilled according to the prophecies and things written in the book. Right? Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Right? But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. Right? So in the days of Noah, before the Most High sent this flood and wiped them all out, destroying them for all the wickedness and iniquities, they didn't have no time. Right? Only Noah knew what it was. Right? And it wasn't nobody out there like, oh yeah, come to the Most High before he destroys y'all with a flood. Nah, he only put it on Noah, and he already had it planned. I'm gonna destroy everybody else. I'm just gonna save Noah. That was already his predestination. Right? The Most High doesn't change. He makes up his mind. That's it. So what we're dealing right here, it says, for as in the days of Noah, before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage. Right? So like we see today, like people out here clubbing, partying, doing what they want to do, marrying, having a jolly good life. What they say, living my best life. Right? Hey, like just living in total madness. This is the same thing that's gonna happen. Watch, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Right? So the same thing's going to happen in the same fashion that happened to Noah, but when the Son of Man comes, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, real name Yahushua in the ancient Hebrew, when he comes, which is for vengeance, it's going to be with fire and brimstone, man. This is going to destroy everything, especially this nation. Right? So let's get back to it. Let's see what they shall be their flesh shall be consumed while they stand on their feet and things like that. Right? Zechariah. Right here, it shall smite the people that have fought against their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. Now let's see that. Let's see what that look like.
Let's do this one. Hey. There we go.
I put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear the sound. Put a 1 in the chat. Type a 1 if you guys can hear the sound of the video. See, like how flat. Look, man, this is a very real thing because you have the U.S. You know, they go out to Area 51 and the base S4 down in the Nevada desert. You can see they got over hundreds of nuclear explosion sites in the Nevada desert. They got 3 different missile testing sites from the time where they were doing missile testing, right? Now, this is a very real fact. Once you see that flash of a bomb, the radiation is going to travel way more faster than the actual sonic boom that the explosion creates. So once that you see that flash, like she just saw that flash, that's the same thing as being in a microwave, right? That radiation is gonna consume your flesh. You're gonna burn just with that radiation alone, and the radiation it's something very deadly. You know what I'm saying? You can really die from that from a distance. Huh? Oh man, yeah, playing with the Most High, man. Like I don't know what's worse, the flood or the fire. The flood, you gonna be in the flood. You gonna be drowning for a while before you actually die and things like that. But this, man, you instantly dead, bro. All praises, man. You gotta take heed to the Most High. This is what developing that fear of the Most High is all about, right? You get in trouble in school. They call your parents. Whoopty whoop, son just got suspended, right? They call your mom and dad. They do all that. You go back to class. Now, when you go back to class and the rest of the periods and the rest of the day, you dreading going home. You don't want to go home now, right? Because you scared. Because you know what's going to happen to you. You just got in trouble for stealing at school. You got suspended for 5 days. And now when you get home, you got a judgment coming for you, right? Your mom or your dad, they finna put a whooping to that butt. And that's real facts. But people walk around without that fear of the Most High. Like, oh, I can't do this because the Most High going to burn me. He going to destroy me with fire. Our people don't walk around with that fear nowadays. Just because you don't see the Most High God, don't mean he's not very real in all aspects of life. Right? We see the prophecies. We see all these things coming to pass. You see all the birds and the trees and the things he had brought forth since the beginning. We see all of these things. But you want to sit there and act like he's not watching you, right? We got to come out of that mentality. We got to come back to the fear of the Most High. Because what do they say fear is? The beginning of knowledge. Because once you start fearing the Most High God, I'm going to be all up in this book. Okay, what do you know what I'm saying? Because the Most High out here killing everybody, right? What does the Most High say? I create good and I create evil. I the Lord, do all these things. So we got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, Israel, or this is going to happen to you. See, like I just said, you're going to feel that radiation first. It's going to consume you. It's going to consume your eyes. What else is going to do? Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord. Tumult is a loud noise, right? Like a loud gathering. A great tumult from the Lord shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor. That's when you guys are going to be joining hands one to another. Oh, Mom, I love you, Dad. You know what I'm saying? Terrible time. And his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. Ooh, everyone's going to be, it's going to be chaos and bloodshed, and it's going to be madness in that time, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we're dealing with. You guys got to come to the Most High God, because then comes the blast. After you already consumed, after you already burnt with radiation, your eyes is already melted, then this is going to happen. We're not escaping the judgment of the Most High. You is not escaping this judgment. You can go down into your little bunkers and all that stuff. The Most High is gonna find you there too. See, and this is the destiny for a lot of you Jakes out there. A lot of you Jakes and you Eves out there, this is your destiny that you want to keep walking forth in the ways of the world. This is what you're looking forward to. No prosperity gospel over here. This thus saith the Most High. Look, yeah, she don't know what's going on. And this symbolic too, because she's an Edomite, right? This is the specific judgment that's going to happen to the Edomites as well when this time happens. So she's seeing her judgment. She's looking at Obadiah right now in her vision. Oh my God, this is what's going to come to us, right? So let's see. Probably get that real quick. Yeah, she's like, oh man, the Most High is real. Con. So we gotta pay attention to the end time signs, Akyam and Akwaz. We gotta pay attention, keep the law, statutes, commandments, right? Because these times is coming. Let's get to Matthew 24 real quick. All right. Let's get to Matthew 24. Two T's. Oh, let me do it with one T that time. All right, Matthew 24 and 25. Um, is it? Oh, Matthew. Slakia. So Salakia, Israel. I'm thinking Luke 21. Salakia. Khan, right here. Luke 21 and 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring. Right? So we seeing signs in the suns, and we seeing signs in the moons and in the stars, right? Um, if you don't understand the Bible, you're not paying attention to the Bible, you won't even think to look for these things, right? You just delving in the ways of the world. I can't stress that enough. So the signs in the sun would be things like this, right?
కెనడా సహా యుఎస్ కొన్ని ప్రాంతాల్లో రెండు సూర్యులు దర్శనమిచ్చినట్లు ఆ విషయాన్ని
Right, so we got two suns being filmed over India. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that this is the age of information, right? This is definitely the age of information. If you're not out there seeking information, then you're just lost. That's period, right? This is the age of information. So if you go out and you record something that you feel deep down in your heart like you should let the world know and see this, and you record it and you upload it somewhere, and then someone watches that video and they say, oh, this is fake, I don't know if it's real or if it's fake. Don't let that discourage you, right? Because you know in your heart what you recorded, you wanted to get it out to people, so what you recorded, you know it's real, right? So you can't fully discredit videos when you see videos like these. This is the age of information. This is the only way we're actually able to get information on a fast grand scale just like that, by viewing other people's videos, right? Now I can also attest for this because I actually have my own testimony. Back in 2016, when I worked at a bar and grill right there on Day Street in Riverside, right? I worked at a bar and grill, and during one of my lunch breaks, this is the time where I'm starting to seek knowledge. I wasn't in the truth yet, but I was very knowledgeable and thinking about things on the outside world and thinking of things on a grander scale, right? So at this time, I actually have my own footage that I recorded on my Huawei note or something like that. I recorded this footage of my own, and it's definitely two suns up there. There's two suns in the sky, right? And this is the signs in the suns, right? This is a very real thing to my knowledge because I've actually seen these things. I have my own testimony on that. Believe me or not, just like I said, it was like, I don't know, but from my own point of view, this thing is very, very, very real. All right. So don't discredit people's videos like that because, you know what I'm saying, this is very real. And you know, these videos weren't out in our time. So these are the signs in the sun. When you start seeing things like that, right? Start seeing things like this. And then you, of course, you got Esau over here trying to tell you what they are. These are phenomenal events. People are recording them. They're not fake. You know what I'm saying? These are actual real people. Like, oh my God, I gotta get this out. So just don't discredit it. Don't discredit it. But what I do want you guys to do is go and seek it yourselves. Go and do the research yourselves. The main thing why people don't pay attention to the sun is because they don't have that knowledge of wanting to actually pay attention to it. You get what I'm saying? To pay attention to it. And it's so bright, you can't look at it with your eyes. You're going to be blinded. So people don't have, okay, I'm going to take my phone and I'm actually going to go and record, because the lens camera can see past all that glare. So you got to actually want to seek these things out to actually come up on videos like that. Con? Because if you delving in the world, you ain't gonna make videos like that. You're just gonna be doing what the world does. That's all out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, two suns, right? Nuclear destruction coming. What else I got? Yeah, that's it on the two suns. But I actually have this right here, right? We're dealing with the chariots of the Most High God. Now look, we do have man-made UFOs. You got Esau and all his devices. He has some things up there, right? But even Esau be looking at some things in the sky like he can't even fathom what those are. He don't even understand how. Why do you think they're coming out with this UFO disclosure in the COVID-19 relief bill? In one of the paragraphs, it says that they have 180 days to disclose UFO encounters, everything they know, right? And that's a law. So they understand that there's something beyond their abilities, something beyond their knowledge, right? And that's the chariots of the Most High God. That's his UFOs, or what man calls UFOs, but to us in our understanding and to the ancients, our ancestors' understanding, those are the chariots of the Most High God, right? And that's what's controlling these nuclear facilities. We have many reports that are coming out today saying that they're all of a sudden, when they're going forth with this UFO disclosure, that now they're seeing a spike in UFO activity over all the nuclear bases that are on the world to this day. This is very much really happening. You can go research and do find articles on that, because that's very really what's happening. Now look right here. This is actual footage of this was like a History Channel segment years ago, right? We actually have a UFO, or what they call chariots of the Most High God, disabling this nuclear bomb right here. You see that? Exactly what I said. They can't even fathom what that is. They don't know what that is. You can't understand the Most High God. Why do you think he told Job in chapter 41? Like, you can't even fathom the Leviathan. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's go back. Blow it up so you can see a little better. Con, you see that? That thing blew it up. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's really controlling the nuclear facilities. You have to thank the Most High God that he didn't allow his angels and his forces that work for him to actually go and set these bombs off. Right? We have to appreciate that fact, because we would even be here right now. There's still time. We're running out of time. In fact, so we got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Now let me get to Ecclesiastes real quick. Chapter 12 and verse 13. There you go. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13. It says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." See, this is the only reason why you men and you women should be keeping the laws, statutes, commandments of God. That's the only reason why you're put on the earth to do. You're not put on the earth to try to make an empire. You're not put on the earth to try to build up your lineage and things like that. Every day we got to try to work towards the Most High God before we're destroyed by fire with everybody else. Everyone's not going to make it. Right? For God shall bring every work into judgment. Everything you've done, whether it's good or bad, he's going to judge the good and the bad. With every secret thing, everything you know that you think is your secret, nah, the Most High knows that. Whether it be good or whether it be evil, the Most High is going to judge you on both sides, right? So we gotta really take heed to the law, statutes, and commandments. This ain't no time to be playing no games right now. Right? So let me get to Matthew 23 real quick. This is what be messing us up. Matthew 23 and 1. Then spake Yahushua to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you, observe. That observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. So people are saying, people are trying to tell you how to live and how to do this and how to do that, and they're not even doing it themselves, right? So you gotta study to show yourself approved for yourself, because they're not even doing what they say to do, right? Just like the Pharisees who sit in Moses' seat, they uphold the law, but they don't even do the law. So you gotta try yourself and make sure you are actually walking in that way of life, right? Let me get Jeremiah now real quick. So this is the destruction that's coming. 51, verse 1. Thus saith the Most High, Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. Right? So he's gonna rise against America and everyone who delves in the midst of America, right? And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, right? And against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her loss. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in their streets. What does it mean to be thrust through? When you thrust through, that means you take a spear, right? You take that spear and you just you thrust somebody through, right? That's it. For Israel has not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, of the Lord of hosts, through their land, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. So we coming out of the ways of Babylon. We coming out of the ways of America, the ways they taught us through elementary school and things like that. Societal learning. We coming out of that, and we're trying to deliver our fellow brethren, you blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos and Seminole Indians, who are the Israelites according to the Bible. We trying to deliver your soul from them, right? Be not cut off in her iniquity. She's getting cut off. The Most High don't want you to get cut off along with them, because he's going to have to cut you off too if you're going to be with them, right? For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. This is where I think Christ coming back with kisses and hugs. Nah, he coming for revenge. Vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So the Most High is going to pay back all the wickedness that America has done, right? Double. He's going to give her evil double. He's going to repay her back for all the iniquities and wickedness double. Why? Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad, right? So America has dealings with all the other nations of the world, right? America has embassies in damn near all the countries, right? America has its hand in all the economies and political powers of the world. So they made every other nation drunk. The nations have drunken her wine, right? The things America has to offer, these other nations came and were dealing with economic stuff, import, exports, militaries, and just trades and all kinds of stuff, right? They're having all these nationalistic dealings with America. Therefore, the nations are mad. But wait. The nations drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Why are the nations mad for drinking their wine? Drinking the wine of the daughter of Babylon, which is America, the other nations drinking that wine makes them mad. Why is that? We're going to get that right now. Revelation 18. I can't space it like that. It doesn't let me. 18 and verse 4. Watch this. Or verse 1. 18. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become a habitation of devils. Right? Because we all know America is just full of just devilish, wicked iniquities and sin, right? We all know that. And the hold of every foul spirit. So all of the foulest of foulest spirits, right? This is their place of hold. America, this is their place, which is called Babylon, spiritual Babylon, right? And the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. This is their cage, their holding place, their habitation, which is Babylon, which is America. Watch this. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of wrath. This is why they're mad. This is why the other nations are mad. Because the habitation of devils just simply means the habitation of deceivers. Devils means deceivers, right? So all the nations have drunk of the wine of wrath. This is why they're mad, because America deceived them into doing all these trades, imports, economic things in the United Nations, right? How they all come together as one to make dealings and such like that, right? The things that America had to offer through them being deceptive, they took it. So now, since they took of that wine, they drunk of that wine, the things that America has to offer, they now have to face the wrath that was coming on America. Now they have to face that same wrath. This is why they're mad. Con? All the nations have drunk of the wine of wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Now they're rich, right? Because she was dealing with them in a deceitful and a delicate matter, right? Offering all these things to these other nations. And they came and they drunk and they fornicated, mingled, and made dealings with America. So now they have to face that same wrath that is coming through America, because they drunk of that wine, right? And they waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies, right? So now let's go back to Jeremiah 51, right? Right here. So Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. They're mad because now they have to face that wrath, that same judgment. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. Right? When Babylon falls, people are going to be howling, all like save the city. They're going to be doing things to honor do things for her pain, trying to raise her back up so that she may be healed, right? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. The Most High is not going to heal this nation. Forsake her. Most High just said, forget about it. Forget about Babylon. Forget about America, right? And let us go everyone into his own country. So everyone's just like, man, just don't even worry about America. There's no saving America no more. This place has its judgment already written out. We already see that it's starting to come to pass, right? So this is, just go to your own country. Don't even worry about America. If you from another foreign nation, go back to your nation, right? Because judgment's coming to this place. The Most High said, don't worry about it. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, right? And is lifted up into the skies, because the wickedness of America is so grand so big on a grand scale that it reached all the way up to the heavens, right? Even to the skies. The Most High even he sees that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, no, they super wicked. They got to go. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our God. Right? So this is what the judgment is coming for America, for Babylon. Right? So now let's go back to Revelations 18. 18. You see right here, for all the nations have drunk the wine, right, of the wrath. So now they got to face the wrath because they were making dealings with America. Now this is what the Most High wants us to do. How do we escape everything that the Most High has the judgments for this and that. Everything that we just heard right now, how do we escape that? And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people," right? "That ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plague." So the Most High is saying, first he wants everyone, don't worry about America, just go to your own country. But we don't have our own country to go back to, right? So the Most High is saying to come out of her, come out of her ways, come out of loving the world, keep the law, statutes, and commandments, my people, so that you're not even partaking in her sins, right? We're not even doing what everyone else is doing, right? So that way we don't receive none of the plagues that's about to come down on America, because we don't have nowhere to go back to, right? So we have to stay here, and we have to pray the Most High takes us out in the cloud, you know what I'm saying, and escape that judgment. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she had filled, fill to her double. See that? So that's what's coming to these nations, man. And with that, I just want to give a big shalawam, shalawam, shalawam. All praise to the Most High. Thank you guys for tapping in. It's Khalil. And big shalawam, Kwam YASHARAHLA. All praise to the Most High. Yahweh Bahashem Mashiach Amalek Yahweh Shai. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Get your study on. And thanks for supporting the channel. And we here. If you guys got any questions, just drop them in the comment box, and we'll be sure to get back to you. All right. Shalawam.